Hello, welcome back to Mr. Turner Art, and today we are going to be doing a drawing with biro. Now you might not have done this before. Biro, just a normal black ballpoint pen biro, is really good for drawing and especially mark making like you've already done with fine liner. You can do the full range of cross hatching, going different directions. The more you overlap, the darker it gets. You can shade, in random angular ways. Again, if it's all close together, it's really dark. If you come out and get lighter, you can still see you can get a tonal ladder effect. Small circles. Okay, more again, overlap means darker. Okay, you can stipple. Like a pointillist effect. Same as before, the closer the dots, the darker it looks. But what I'm going to show you first is directional shading. If you look on this image of a muscle, we can see that with how the muscle grows, it has these kind of arch effects. Okay? And when a lot of people shade, they think that you do it in straight lines. Take the thing off like this. Okay. However, if you use more of a sweeping motion, you can start to show the shape of the muscle. So, for example, okay, that's just me getting an email. Okay, you can see that small curve that might represent this is already telling me more than these straight lines. And also, with it being a rounded shape, you don't want, for example, drawing it quickly, your muscle to be a series of, when you've finished it, really straight angular lines, okay, because it won't help the effect. So today's task that I have set for you is to draw a muscle. Now, to start with, what I recommend you do is draw the outline, okay, lightly with a pencil. I've also, because this is a new medium and you will not have done much with it, you will be thinking a lot about the sort of marks and how to use this as a drawing tool. And because of that, your observation when you start using the biro might not be as good as it can be at other times. So what I have done here is, as well as the outline, I have almost sectioned up the muscle. So you see on this right hand side, I've put this really dark area, a couple of the big prominent sort of areas. So we've got this one here that looks a bit like a sickle that's in the middle. This little blue area I've put in because we can't rub this out. So you need to be confident. You need to make sure that that mark or that line that you're putting in belongs there. Okay, I've also, as you can see, put this highlight white area or the rough where I think it will go. Obviously, when I start adding my marks, that is what I will be looking at more closely and putting it in exactly the right place. But for now, I know that if I'm doing this dark area, not to carry on around here, and then, at my drawing, I'll never get that as light as it needs to be. The dark areas down here, and so that has just helped me. So what I will do now is I will look for an area that is small. So I recommend starting down here. Okay, we can see that I've put another mark there to represent this. And I will start lightly at first. Okay, because if I start lightly, you can use it as you do with pencil, lightly. And then if that later on turns out to be too light, it is easy to come back and make it darker. Okay, don't forget from your do now task, you will have a piece of paper. Use it a little bit like I've been using this so far, just to practice. If I can see a small area, I might want to practice getting the tone, getting that directional shading right, before I then move on to my proper drawing. Okay, so yeah, use paper, use anything, use cereal packets, envelopes, to give you that confidence. Okay, so as I was just saying, I'm going to start on a smaller area, and the reason I'm starting with a small area is so that I can do smaller marks first, and when I'm more confident, I will be happier to move on to these larger, more sweeping strokes. Okay, and then it's just looking again. Notice how everything from this point almost just funnels outwards. Okay, so if it starts small here, we can see even by this first guideline I've given myself, it's getting a little bit bigger. So I recommend starting towards the bottom of your muscle. I can see I've got a straight line up there, so I might start making sure that's straight and that's falling about here. So always looking at least every 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, turn the paper as well if you need to, because then you've got your natural, your wrist. Okay, I already know that's going to be too light. Okay, let's find another bit. Let's try on going and putting some of this in. Again, these are quite straight, so if they are straight, you can still use your straight shading. Yeah, if that's where you want to start before trying to do some of the directional shading to build your confidence with the biro, that's fine. Okay, you'll also notice that this is on A5 paper, because you're doing a lot of mark making, going over areas quite a few times. If it was on an A4 drawing, it would take you a lot longer. Okay, really thinking. Okay, I might work into this a little bit here, just put a few lines. Okay, I can see I've got this really dark bit here. So if you imagine, I've done a lot of my lighter tones to show you. And we can see that all the time I'm thinking about that curve of the muscle. Okay, using this guideline that's for this section. Okay, well, I've got my white bit there, so I need to make sure I've stopped. Again, if stop early. Okay, and hopefully that will help you be able to draw your muscle in biro. Okay, any problems, just give me an email and I'll be able to help you out, but hopefully that will help. Thank you.